Hello, my name is William James. I'm the host of The Bald Book Geek. All of my links and info down below. I watched High Guardian Spice, so you didn't have to. I regret that decision. Hi. Word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by Mountaineer Brand for all your bearded, shaving and body washing and manly needs. Discount code down below. They're an all-natural company. Links and info, as I said, below. Really great products, and I use them daily, so link down below. I want to preface this by saying that there are a lot of people that like this, but it's interesting why the reasons they like this, and I'm not even going to go into that one. But if you like it, you like it. This is nothing against you guys. I don't normally do this, but I'm doing this with a critical eye. And Crunchyroll, why are you investing money in an adult-themed Saturday morning cartoon? So first things first, what did I like? I liked some of the background music. I think actually it was very charming, sweet score. It was very sugary, but charming and sweet. And actually some of the background art is actually really pretty. It's a little bit Tumblr-y, but it's fine. That's where it all kind of falls apart. So, how does it fall apart? It fell apart fast in the terms of just structure and writing. So first things first. The structure of the episodes, nothing really happens. It's just friendship overcomes everything. But I don't know who this is aimed at. It has very kiddie the plot is very childish, and it again reads like a Nickelodeon cartoon. The humour is kind of that cringy, want of a better word, it's kind of that Rick and Morty vibe humour that doesn't quite gel with me, or Steve's Universe kind of humour, which I don't think is very funny. Maybe that's just British humour versus American. And then it kind of just goes in this weird direction. Like, the episodes, nothing happens. So that's the big thing. Like, yes, there's a plot and a point, but it's literally the same rinse and repeat. It's a very sellable concept. It's magic schools and witches and typical. There's a lot of anime in this, and this is not anime. This is a Western cartoon that Crunchyroll invested money in. Crunchyroll wanted to defeat piracy with anime, and they put money into this instead of better animated properties. I just want to put that one out there. I don't get that, and it feels very cheap. Like, there's a lot of budget here, and I'm not going to go into the writers and how, and I hate this word, problematic they are, because they really are. One of them got Tumblr pilled and not apologising for sexism, and like, if it was anyone else they would be lynching them in the street at this point, but vagina card has been played, I think. I'm going to get shit for that comment, dear God. So let's talk about the art design. The art design is very childish. All the characters look like those how to draw manga books that we all had as teenagers. It has that vibe to it, and that's kind of... It looks cheap. The animation is cheap, and it shows, and it doesn't... Like, there is some great cheap anime, some beautifully hand-drawn stuff, but the Japanese anime tends to look... Even if they're going for this style, it tends to look better. And I have seen better Tumblr art, and that's something I never thought I'd ever say. And it's always funny when they leave the copyright to Gutter Images in there. Like, if you look really carefully, you can see where they haven't taken out you can see the Gutter Images watermark. Some of this stuff is lifted straight from there, and it's just got like a filter over it, which looks really strange. Like, the backgrounds are really hyper-real, and not in a good way. It's like a filtered photograph that someone's turned into a cartoon on, like, those old filter apps we used to have. Clip art type thing. The writing is bad. The voiceover is cheap and nasty, and everyone sounds like they're trying too hard. And you can tell a lot of it was recorded in different rooms because of the reaction and how it's done. And also, what mics was some of this recorded on? The sound mix is terrible, and it sounds like some people are in... I don't know what's going on. I tried it through 5 different audio setups, and the sound mix is just bad. It sounded better through stereo, traditional stereo on my MacBook. Even then, there are moments where you can't hear people, and that didn't work. This fails as an anime, and it fails as a Saturday morning cartoon, because at least if it was trying to be a Saturday morning cartoon, I could at least forgive this kind of thing. But then you look at other cartoons like Totally Spies, Witch, that's a really good show. And even things like Winx, at least it embraced it and used kind of its cheapness to its the best it could do, where this doesn't. Nothing. The characters are really one note. The characters are really bland. There's some really badly shoehorned in stuff going on that I'm not going to use those words because I get told off whenever I say them. It doesn't have an audience. It looks like a child's show, but the writing and everything feels like it's aimed at sort of 16 to about 20-year-olds. But I don't even think that's the audience. I think the audience for this are blue ticks on Twitter. I don't know why this show exists, and I think it could have been good. I think it could have at least been bearable if it had just been a Saturday morning cartoon. Toned down, obviously, with content for children. But this is not anime. Crunchyroll should invest money into bringing more great Japanese anime over to the West. Instead, they invested God knows how many years, how much time, and how much money into this. And they created a Saturday morning cartoon that doesn't have an audience outside of blue ticks on Twitter who don't really watch this stuff. The writing is hap-handed, the characters aren't well developed, the storylines do nothing, and it's all just clumsy. That's the word for it. It's clumsy, and the world building is also clumsy because it doesn't explain itself. In world building, you have to have things that either just exist, or you at least partially explain them, or at least make them fit the context of the world that they're in. The world building in this is bad. The characters are bad. It's just... I've sat through some really cringy stuff, like I've sat through Steve's Universe and wanted to die by the end of it, but this is bad. I mean, it's up there with like the Shannara Chronicles, or oh god, there's countless other cringe fests on TV, but it's kind of up there with that in terms of just cringy bad writing, and it doesn't know what it wants to do. I don't get why this exists, and I don't see the point in this show. This could have been brilliant, but obviously they were so concerned with shoehorning in stuff that they forget that you actually have to have writing and character development and world building, rather than self-insertion, lazy, bad writing that exists to appease blue tick marks on Twitter.